So, good afternoon. My name is Lori Hines. I'm a pediatrician and a mother of 4 children. Two of my children attend school in Leander ISD. Due to the current math standards, my 2 younger children are attending a private school. And I just wanted to say that Euclidean geometry has been around for about 2,000 years. So that's not really new. Today I'm going to present features common with the new math of the 1990s. I'd like to say that the failed math of the 1990s and the new math of today. Elementary school problems that encourage students to invent their own arithmetic algorithms while discouraging the use of superior standard algorithms for addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication. You can see the attachment on how 0 was discovered. Do we really think that children can come up with their own algorithms? Using calculators and computers instead of brains. Do we really think children are getting a solid math education when they do their homework on an iPhone in the back seat of a car? That's actually happened to me. Group work is the preferred mode of learning. Arithmetic and algebra de-emphasized. Elementary school programs not providing books for students as they might interfere with student discovery. This is just crazy. This was my 4th grader's math textbook. And worse, this is what it looks like in middle school. This is what they're using. This is not a third world country, people. Strategies for solving problems include estimate, look for a pattern, guess and test, work backward, draw a picture or a diagram, use models, and act out the problem. I don't know what that means, acting out math problems. I'd like to see it. An increase in tutoring services. There are 5 different tutoring businesses within 5 miles of my home. That does not include private tutoring that many students are receiving. In the 1983 report, A Nation at Risk, it was noted, the teacher preparation curriculum is weighted heavily with courses in educational methods at the expense of courses in subjects to be taught. This is important to the board because over and over again I've heard how we're going to spend money on teaching methods. The methods are the problem. Just as occurred in the 1990s, private foundations have contributed to the goal of implementing these new standards through teacher training programs. 30 years ago, there was public and parent resistance to these failed math standards. In the 1990s, parent groups from California, New York, Massachusetts, and Texas organized opposition to the new math. Today, there are anti-Common Core groups in nearly every state, even in Texas, that supposedly does not have Common Core. Of course, discussing Common Core in Texas is like trying to find out what the definition of is. You can also see an article, 2 + 2 what, where parents across the country, and it's the same thing that you hear people complaining about. So thank you for your time in putting this on the agenda today. And I also, since I didn't get to testify last time, because you guys went on forever and ever, my testimony's the last 2 pages. I was reading the preface from one of my books about math.
Ms. Cargo.
Lori, could you hold up those books again? Who are the publishers of this?
Well, the publisher of this book would be my daughter. See, what they do is they tape stuff inside the book, and so then when they go study, it's all their work this is what they go study from.
And what grade?
This was 7th.
And does she have a textbook?
I don't remember. She may have had an online textbook, but this is what, when we would go help her with her math, this is what she would bring, and we would try to figure out what we were doing.
And what about the other one? What grade was that for?
This is 4th grade, and my 2nd grader had the same.
So he might have an online textbook, but that's what he would bring home for?
No, this did not have an online book. This is what their books were.
For the whole year?
There might have been another one, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
He's a boy. This is Bridges to Mathematics. Sorry, David.
Well, that's true, though. Your comment about boys, I get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, what is the publisher of that one? Bridges?
This is Bridges to Mathematics.
Well, that's the title, right?
Well, yeah, I don't know who the publisher is. I don't know.
Okay, that's okay. I was just kind of curious.
The Math Learning Center?
Okay, all right, thank you.
Sure.
Just one comment, because you mentioned the 83 report, A Nation at Risk under Reagan. Are you familiar with that report, what it said about Common Core?
Did they talk about it in Common Core and Reagan's?
Well, this is what it was. Some people say Reagan's Common Core was 4 years of English, 3 of math, 3 of science, a semester of computer science and a U.S. history, government, economics. He felt that was a common core that all kids should have.
Okay.
At that time, 25% of high school students had that. But that was his common core.
Right.
And people have taken that, and so when people tell us it points back to Reagan, they're lying to us. That's not true.
Yeah.
But you mentioned 83, Nation at Risk. That was a very important report that came out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Laurie, tell me your feeling about this, the process standards and this argument of whether to leave them in, take them out, and too much emphasis on them and not enough on content.
Well, as much as I enjoy coming up here, if you don't revise them, then I have to spend the next, 4 years coming up here. So that's one thing that's I'm threatening you. But I think in one of the articles I read that when they did this before in California, that if those kids had 4 years, and I've mentioned this before, 4 years of this failed math, they never catch up. And so it's why I took my kids out of public school, because I don't want, and that's 2 years have gone by. So in another 2 years, you think you're in school for K through 12, 4 is 1/3 of that, you can put it on a number line. That's a lot of time to waste. And we can say, well, we can wait. Well, that's really easy to say when it's not your kids that are in the system.
Well, but what you're hearing here is the teacher just saying, leave it alone. Let's wait till the next update, and that's usually in 8 to 10 years. So.
Well, and I guess, so the question is, who's the consumer? The teachers, or is it my children? So from my perspective, my children are at risk. And so I appreciate the teachers' input, and that hasn't been my experience either. When I still had kids in public elementary school, and the tone drastically changed in that school when the new math came out. If you wanted to talk to a teacher, it was in hushed tones. They would close the door, and the teachers that were talking to me did not like this math. So, and I had one teacher tell me she teaches regular math all the way up to the end of the year, and then she crams for the star, and that's how she does it. So.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Appreciate you coming.
Thank you, Ms. Miller.
That's sad.